Most people think they're stuck in their careers because they need a new skill or a better boss or a different company. And at times it's hard to blame that behavior because how many times have you caught yourself scrolling through LinkedIn, seeing everybody else's big career moves and then wondering why you're stuck on this hamster wheel? My name is Krithika, and in this channel, we discuss strategies to help you find alignment between your personal and your professional best. Today, we're going to look at what's actually behind the feeling of being stuck. We're going to explore why success can sometimes trap you, what an alignment gap actually is, and the one question that can help you see what's really happening. Because getting stuck doesn't always start with changing your job, but it definitely starts with noticing something that you might have stopped paying attention to. Having coached many people on this, what I've noticed is that most people aren't stuck because it stopped moving. They're stuck because they stop actively choosing. They stop asking themselves, what is it that I actually want? And they've instead started just doing the next logical step. And those are two completely different questions. Early in your career, they align. The next logical step is usually what you want. More responsibility or more money, more recognition, whatever that is for you. But by year 8 or 12 or 15, maybe even earlier, these questions start to diverge. You can end up years down the road realizing that you never consciously chose this path, or at least continued to choose this path. You just kept saying yes to the next thing that made sense. And that's when that feeling of stuck starts to show up. And that isn't because you're failing, but it's because you're succeeding at something that you didn't actually choose. I worked with someone recently, let's call him Tom. And he'd been in tech sales for about 12 years and was a top performer every quarter. By the time he came to me, he said, I feel like I'm playing a character. Like I'm really good at this version of myself, but I don't really feel like it's me anymore. And then when we explored it further in our coaching sessions, we found that the version of him that had thrived in this role had actually worked brilliantly in his 20s. But now he started valuing depth over speed and wanted to build things with a long-term view versus chasing the next quarter's numbers. Nothing had gone wrong. It's just that he had changed whilst his career hadn't. And that is what I call an alignment gap. It's that space between what you're becoming and what your work asks of you. And you typically feel it before you can name it. It shows up as a Sunday night dread for needing a break without really knowing what it is that you're going to do with one. It's a vague sense that something's just sort of off. And the tricky thing about this is that you can function incredibly well at work and you can still be misaligned. In fact, success makes it harder to see because if you're really good at something, if you're getting recognized for it, and if people keep saying you're so talented at this, it almost feels ungrateful to then question it. But I actually want to challenge that because feeling stuck isn't the same as feeling tired. Feeling tired is a phase. You can rest, you can recover, then you're back, right? But feeling stuck is a signal and it's telling you that something deeper isn't working. Now, the reason why most people are stuck or they stay stuck is that they're trying to solve it at the wrong level. They change roles or they take sabbaticals or they switch industries, whatever that is, and they still feel the same way 6 months later because the circumstances weren't the problem. And if you think about it, if you don't know what you need from your work, how can changing jobs help? You're just moving the same confusion to a different setting. I've seen this play over and over. You get unstuck by understanding what it is that you actually need from your work and then making choices that move you closer to it, towards alignment, which is what we're all about in this channel. And so here's a question I ask someone when they tell me that they feel stuck. It's not, what do you want to do next? Or what are you good at? Because you probably know this already. The question is, what do you need your work to give you that it's not giving you right now? And I don't mean salary or time or flexibility. That may be a part of it. But I mean at the level of what actually makes you feel alive. Some people need autonomy. Some people need clear impact, and some just need to be around people who can challenge them in ways that feel generative and not draining. I've known for a long time personally that if my work doesn't allow me creativity or meaning or freedom, I will burn out, even if everything else looks fantastic on paper. And this has actually happened to me more than once in my career. Your answer will be different, and it might change over time. So for the next few weeks, just notice. Don't try to fix anything yet. Just observe yourself, almost from a third person's perspective, and notice what you actually need now, not what you think you should need based on your surroundings or what worked for you 5 years ago. Once you know what's true to you and you have that answer, use that as a filter. Ask yourself, how often are you saying yes to things that take away what you need? For example, staying late to polish a presentation that you know doesn't even matter, or taking on a high visibility project just to impress others, but leaves you empty. Whatever it is, that's the kind of stuff that quietly drains you. And when you notice without judgment or immediately trying to solve it, you build the muscle of thinking more clearly and from a place of presence. And once you've understood what your personal sense of alignment is, you can then take the steering wheel and drive in that direction. Getting unstuck doesn't have to mean starting over. While you're more than welcome to quit your job and move to Bali, get a new degree, whatever that is, you may be able to feel better with less dramatic changes. So focus on reconnecting what you're optimizing for, and then make small, deliberate changes that move you closer to it. The point is, you are in your career's driver's seat and you should get to choose. Your North Star will look different from mine and from everybody else's, but use the feeling of being stuck as a signal that it's time you get back on the steering wheel and drive.